And welcome to This Is Now. We begin with a live look from our tower cam. Another gloomy day in Honolulu after a busy week of rainy conditions, and more wet weather could be in store with thunderstorms added to the forecast for Maui County and Oahu. And in just the last half hour, the National Weather Service announced a flood advisory is in effect. Billy V shows us what we're tracking on the First Alert radar. Billy.
Thank you very much, Mark. Let's go ahead and show you. First alert weather for you. Let's go ahead and get right to the radar. As Mark mentioned, here we've got just a lot of energy that's out in the water. We had this morning energy that was just south of Kauai, and that prompted a tornado warning as it came over Ni'ihau. So once again, we had a tornado warning at about 6:45 this morning. That expired at 7 a.m., but that just kind of gives you an idea of what kind of energy we've got out there. Let's talk about the island of Oahu. We can see this on the approach, and then as we get a look on the sideways here on the radar, you can see that showers coming and approaching. We're going to expect this to continue. So they've got that flood advisory up until 2:30 this afternoon. I'm going to take a deeper dive into all of this weather that's happening coming up in just a little bit. For now, let's get you back to Mark.
Thank you very much, Billy. Ocean safety officials are reminding the public about the dangerous conditions at China Walls after a pregnant woman was rescued from rough waters Thursday morning. Mobile lifeguards rushed to the scene where they jumped in and helped her stay afloat until jet ski operators took her to the Hawaii Kai boat ramp. She declined medical help. The area is known for its unpredictable surf, strong currents, and limited exit points. A legal battle over evidence in the murder of Maui police officer Suzanne Oh, the man accused of the deadly shooting, wants his phone calls kept secret. Our Chelsea Davis reports from Wailuku.
Clember Kaneholani's attorney does not want recorded jail calls presented to a jury. He argued that his client was not properly notified that those calls are recorded. Those calls were played in court.
Boy, but watch what you say, yeah, boy. What? Recording.
Clember Kaneholani listens to a jail call that he made to his sister from Maui Community Correctional Center on September 2nd, 2.5 weeks after he allegedly shot and killed Officer Suzanne Oh in Paia. His attorney, Zachary Raidmay, wants the recorded jail call suppressed, arguing that his client did not consent to these calls being recorded, nor did prosecutors obtain a warrant to intercept these phone calls.
It doesn't say that the things you say could be admissible in court. So it doesn't have that like Miranda type of a warning.
No, because the system is not there yet.
The system is not there yet. What does that mean?
Because the call is not tethered to a subpoena.
Maui prosecuting attorney Andrew Martin argued Kaneholani was well aware phone calls he makes from jail are recorded, and those calls can be used against him in court.
Boy, but watch what you say, yeah, boy. What? Recording. Record everything I said. I told you. You can't say me in court, though. I don't give a anything, but every court they can all suck my all of that. You judge.
Your state has nothing further to offer.
Judge Peter Cahill is expected to make a decision on this in January. Kaneholani's jury trial is scheduled for February. Reporting in Wailuku, I'm Chelsea Davis for Hawaii News Now.
The shocking attack on a school athletics official 2 weeks ago may lead to a new law to protect school employees who are harassed by parents. And as our Daryl Huff reports, educators believe this is long overdue.
For years here at the Capitol, unions and employees have complained that the Department of Education has not done enough to protect employees, but the shocking video may force DOE to change.
It's unfortunate that this event happened with a physical altercation, but our teachers have been feeling harassed for many, many years.
Doing bodily harm to an educational worker, like the attack on Associate Athletic Director Natalie Iwamoto, has been a felony for nearly 40 years, but harassment or threats that could presage violence has been considered the employee's problem.
They've basically said, oh, it's not our job, it's not our responsibility, you need to go and pursue a temporary restraining order on your own. You're on your own, basically. They're providing no support as employers.
Former DOE Communications Director Lindsay Chambers was one of several employees harassed by the same irate parent.
It was this is traumatic, and it was really hard to go through for myself and my family. And I think I found, this all kind of bubbles up.
Like Natalie Iwamoto, who hired her own attorney to get a TRO against Akusitino Noga, the DOE told Chambers to go on her own to get a TRO for her co-workers and face the alleged harasser.
The DOE's instructions to protect my team as a supervisor made me a target, which led to the threats and harassment.
School Superintendent Keith Hayashi has opposed giving harassed employees state-sponsored legal help, and he was in court yesterday and asked about the union's complaints.
We definitely are looking at different options of what can people be provided at schools. Definitely, we're looking at different options, and we'll be working with our school principals and with our athletic directors to explore an array of options that we can put in place.
That answer comes 2 years after Chambers and teachers took their concerns to lawmakers.
Educators should not have to fear for their safety while fulfilling their duty.
Educational workers should not be forced to work with parents that physically threaten them and that we've attempted to get a TRO against to, again, protect ourselves from physical harm.
When the time came for my court hearing, I was forced to face this individual alone. No one from the DOE or state showed up to represent me in court.
House Education Chair Justin Woodson says he has legislation that would force DOE to deal with harassers, and this video will make a difference.
I think it's going to have a tremendous impact. I mean, if you just see it, it solicits a visceral reaction. It's very sad, and so unfortunately it's a visual articulation of why we were trying to pass that bill in the first place.
Chambers is already seeing progress in the support surrounding Natalie Iwamoto.
But it was really heartwarming to see all the support that she got. I'm really happy for her. It was a really lonely experience for me because I walked out of that courtroom alone.
It's often said here at the Capitol that it takes something shocking to get something done, and that appears to be the case here. Reporting from the state capitol, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.
The Department of Justice just released the first batch of documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
Friday afternoon, the Justice Department released several 100,000 documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
President Trump has said for years that he wants full transparency and he wants the Department of Justice to release everything that we can.
Congress passed a law giving the Trump administration 30 days to publicly release the files, and today is that deadline.
President Trump signed that law 30 days ago, and we have been working tirelessly since that day to make sure that we get every single document that we have within the Department of Justice, review it, and get it to the American public.
The release did not contain all of the files, as the Justice Department says it is reviewing the documents to protect victims' identities.
I expect that we're going to release more documents over the next couple of weeks. So today, several 100,000, and then over the next couple of weeks, I expect several 100,000 more.
Two leading Democratic lawmakers called any delay a violation of federal law and said they are exploring legal options to compel the department to release all of the files. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Back here at home, demolition work at Aloha Stadium has begun. The stadium authority says the work actually started last week Friday to cut utilities and take out hazardous materials. Eventually, crews will remove furnishings and then dismantle the stadium itself. That all should take about 10 months. Kamehameha Schools is looking for a new trustee, and the 3 finalists took on the big issues at a public forum last night. Our Ben Gutierrez was there.
Kamehameha Schools trustees are tasked with setting policy. It's not just for the educational aspect, but also its mission as the state's 3rd largest landowner with a multi-billion-dollar endowment.
At a talk story session on the Kapalama campus, all 3 trustee finalists said they backed the school's admissions policy, now being challenged in federal court because it favors Native Hawaiians.
Protecting the preference policy is a fundamental responsibility of the trustees, and we have to defend it at all costs.
If any trustee can materially help with fighting this lawsuit, or any leader in leadership can fight, and they're not all in, they're not dropping every single thing in their life to do just this, then we're doing a disservice, and they shouldn't be in that seat.
Another hot topic, the school's $15 billion endowment, including commercial properties. Trustee finalist Keith Vieira, a longtime tourism executive, said KS's recent sale of the land under the Royal Hawaiian Hotel to a Japanese firm for $510 million makes financial sense.
If you take the $510 million they're getting, and if you invest that for the 47 years, and let's say 7% compounded, $17 billion.
Vieira also believes the endowment could be used to expand the mission of educating Native Hawaiians in areas like West Oahu, starting with additional classrooms and perhaps a new campus in the future.
You don't start caring about Kamehameha Schools just because you want to be a trustee. If you really want to be a trustee, you've been living your life serving Native Hawaiians.
The school is at a vulnerable point, and it's because of its large endowments, because of the success that the schools has seen over the past decades, that people are coming after the school for their resources.
Public comment on the trustee finalists will be accepted through December 31st, with the probate court making the final decision sometime early next year. On the campus of Kekula o Kamehameha, Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
Mahalo nui, Ben. And a heads up for drivers in Manoa, UH is holding its fall commencement tomorrow at the Stan Sheriff Center. It'll go from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Congratulations to the over 1,000 students getting degrees. President Trump is pushing to reclassify marijuana at the federal level. Raquel Kahlo says that could lead to new research and investments.
The proposed changes would reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug, but it wouldn't legalize it recreationally.
This reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments.
Marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule I drug under federal law, the most restrictive category along with other drugs like heroin, ecstasy, and LSD. President Trump's order directs federal agencies to begin the process of moving marijuana to Schedule III, which is in the same category as Tylenol and codeine. But this new move does not legalize a drug or immediately change federal law. In Hawaii, medical cannabis is already legal, but federal changes could affect how the program operates. And it also raises unanswered questions.
Moving cannabis to Schedule III would formally recognize that cannabis, the plant, has medical use, accepted medical use, but it's uncertain what's going to happen to our medical cannabis program and what impact that's going to have on the intrastate medical use of cannabis.
A reclassification could open the door to expanded research and broader medical acceptance, but it could also bring new layers of federal oversight.
The issue that we need to address is what's going to happen when cannabis is in federal Schedule III and all of a sudden dispensaries could be required to satisfy the DEA and FDA registration requirements for producing a Schedule III controlled substance. Under Schedule I, everybody just kind of ignored the situation, but under Schedule III, there are actually processes for regulating and enforcing.
As for whether Hawaii will legalize recreational marijuana, that decision still rests with the legislature, which has rejected similar proposals several times. Raquel Kahlo, Hawaii News Now.
Coming up, a milestone day for a new affordable housing project in the heart of Kalihi. We'll take you to today's groundbreaking. Plus, mounting frustration for the tenants of the Chinatown Cultural Plaza, which they say has fallen into total disrepair. How Honolulu's mayor is trying to help. a heavy downpour, state and city leaders gathered this morning to celebrate a new affordable housing initiative. Ground was broken on the Kuhio Park low rises and homes located on Linapuni Street in the heart of Kalihi. Phase 1 of the development will provide over 300 units along with gathering spaces, including playgrounds, walking paths, and community gardens.
Families that are never probably going to have as much resources they might dream of, but they'll have a home. And that's what we believe. You know, you hear me say it over and over again that housing is health. It's because you can't be healthy if you are housing unstable. You just can't.
Units will be available for those who qualify for project-based vouchers and renters earning 30 to 80% of the area median income. Phase 1 is expected to reach near completion in mid-2026. A cry for help from tenants of the Chinatown Cultural Plaza. Our Mahealani Richardson has more on their effort to get Taiwan's attention to improve a run-down building.
The Chinatown Cultural Plaza, built in 1974, a centerpiece of the historic district, has fallen into total disrepair and is a magnet for crime.
It's become a haven for drug dealing, for prostitution, for, you know, I don't want to criminalize homelessness, but this has been a refuge for homeless people as well.
Legend is the largest tenant of the Cultural Plaza, having been around for 43 years. But owner John Ho shows us just outside the restaurant, a small dump for commercial waste and a paradise for pigeons.
It looks like a junkyard. Yeah, they've been there for years. I don't know, nobody will do anything about it.
He and other tenants gathered today in the courtyard to demand change, as about half the shops are empty, abandoned, and left to neglect.
If this place run down, definitely it's not a good look or glory, honor to Taiwan.
This whole area is moving toward being cleaned up,
Yeah.
except for Chinatown Cultural Plaza.
Exactly, and it's frustrating because it's so massive, you know, 4 acres plus what Riverwalk would represent. I mean, this is wrong.
The Chinatown Cultural Plaza is actually owned by the Taiwanese government, and Honolulu's mayor says he wrote letters to Taiwan's president and prime minister with no response.
I would move to condemnation if we could, but because it's foreign owned, I can't. I heard from the local consul general, they like a list of developers, this short little text, to which I said that would be deceptive. I need to understand, what is it you're willing to do?
Mayor Blangiardi hopes the Taiwanese government will work with the city. He envisions knocking down the structure and building a new center with housing, retail, and culture. It could be a developer's dream, but the mayor needs Taiwan to pay attention first. Reporting from Chinatown, Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
Thank you very much, Mahal. Let's go ahead and take a look at the waves real quickly. I'll give you the numbers. Here it is, 10 to 14 feet over on the North Shore, 6 to 8 over on the west side. Everything is smaller than that. Coming up next, I'm going to give you your first alert weather and tell you about the flood advisory in effect for the island of Oahu.
Now, First Alert Weather with Billy V.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and give you what we are tracking for you today. Flood advisory is in effect for the island of Oahu, and that's going to be until 2:30 this afternoon. It means some heavy rain, isolated thunderstorms, and of course, a lot of the state is already saturated from this past week. We do have light winds today, and that doesn't help to push that moisture along, and the trades will be back starting on Saturday. Here's radar, and of course, you can see the showers and the thunderstorms that have crossed the island of Oahu. If we get in there a little bit closer, you can see that path that those thunderstorms have taken right across, and you can see as it travels over to the windward side and away. But there's a chance that we could see more, and you can see that in the distance. We do have brewing up more thunderstorms, so we are watching for that as we go through the afternoon. And as we take a look at Maui County right now, kind of quiet. Hawaii Island not seeing much of that moisture. Here's what we've got. We break things down hour by hour. See how your commute is going to go. 4 o'clock, we got some yellows here. As we get into the evening hours, we got some reds. So it depends on where your commute is, but expect rain, showers to be there as part of things. And of course, you know from yesterday that can slow things down. 7-day forecast for you. Once again, today highlighted because of the showers. Saturday, we still have light winds. Sunday, as we get into the second half of the weekend, starts to get breezy as we get into Monday, Tuesday. Really breezy. 15 to 25 mile per hour winds with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. They back off just in time for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, where conditions should be partly to mostly sunny, depending on where you are, and that's going to be some good weather. Once again, 7-day forecast for you, and we are tracking, and for the island of Oahu, a flood advisory on till 2:30 p.m. You're watching This Is Now on Hawaii News Now.
Welcome back. If adopting a pet has been on your holiday wish list, now might be the perfect time. The Hawaiian Humane Society is offering free adoptions through the end of the year. Casey Lund has more.
Aloha and happy Aloha Friday from the Hawaiian Humane Society. We're here at the Kasasa campus. Anna Neubauer's with me this morning, President and CEO of the Hawaiian Humane Society. And we have Whisper here with us this morning, as well as many others. Tell me a little bit about Home for the Holidays. And, you know, before we get into that, I know that you just had an Empty the Shelter campaign, and that was a huge success.
It was. It was allowed us to get many, many animals homes in preparation for the Home for the Holiday special, and now we're excited starting today that we have our Home for the Holiday special, which is sponsored by our wonderful board of directors.
Yeah, tell us how that all works, and it runs through the 31st, I know. So even if you're not ready right now, wait till Christmas, get all through the stress of Christmas, and then it might be the great time to add the family or be a first-time pet owner.
That's true. So right now, especially if you have kids, kids are, off for the holidays. You have a couple of weeks where everybody's a little more home. It's a perfect time to bring a new pet into the home or to foster a pet as well. And so we did this special last year. It was very successful, and we're really excited to be able to waive all adoption fees for all of our animals: kittens, puppies, cats, dogs, turtles, rabbits,
everything.
Exactly, everything in between. And our goal truly is to get all of these animals home for the holidays.
Absolutely. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about as we get ready for the new year, fostering options. There's all kinds of other ways that you can get involved. Tell me about couch crashers and lap crashers.
Absolutely. So we have a couple of short-term fostering options, particularly for our adoptable animals. So our couch crashing program is for the dogs, and the lap crashing program is for the cats. And so you're able to bring those animals into your home for just a couple days or even up to a couple of weeks, get them a break from the shelter. It's also a great way to see if that animal is a good fit for your family.
Yeah,
so
and maybe they end up crashing forever.
Exactly. That is our hope. Yes, yes.
Anna, thank you so much for chatting with us today and for all that you and your entire team do every day. Again, they always have volunteer opportunities. If you want to learn any more about that, the Home for the Holidays campaign, look out. All that information at HawaiiNewsNow.com. We'll send things, you can crazy in here, send things back to you for now.
Thanks so much, Casey. And finally, on this Aloha Friday, take a look at this monk seal taking it easy on the beach. That's the life right there. This was taken by one of our photographers last night at Magic Island. A reminder to always give monk seals at least 50 feet of space and stay at least 150 feet away from mothers and pups. Give you a look outside right now from our tower cam. It has actually cleared up since the start of the show. Hopefully it stays dry this weekend, doesn't get too crazy with the rain. Happy Aloha Friday.